Hello, welcome back to my channel. We will continue from where we left off from the last video. In the last video, I mentioned that my ex planned to move us from where we were living to a different place without my knowledge. He found the landlord, negotiated the rent, every detail planned, executed, got the key, and asked me and the kids to get in the car one day randomly without even telling me where we're going. And I found myself in a very strange neighborhood, very far from where we were living, far from my church friends, my fellowship friends, my prayer partner, to this lonely place where I had no clue how my life could survive, how I could survive. So what happened after this? We came back. He decided to take time to fix the house because the house looked like an abandoned house. One thing that God blessed this man with is skills of different kinds. He can build a car from scratch. He can build a house from scratch. He's an electronic engineer and chemical engineer. Everything, them. He can do it all. So he knew he can fix the house to the shape of how he wanted it. But why he excluded me as his wife is still strange. Till tomorrow, I'm still going to be questioning that. But what happened was, I thank the Lord for helping me to connect with people of God anywhere I find myself. So at the church where we were attending, at the old place, I had a friend, a Christian lady that I started talking with during the time that we were there. So, and I found out that she lived directly opposite the apartment where we lived. So every time I feel like I need a company, I just work with my kids and go there and visit her with her kids. That was a destiny helper. So that means in your own situation, whatever you're dealing with or we could be dealing with in the future, pay attention to who God is placing in your path. If you remember all my videos from every tragedies, every challenges, everything I've been through, pay attention to how God strategically places people my way every step of the way. That lady was God's divine appointed person for me for a reason which you will find out as you keep listening to this video. So this lady, I visited her every now and then. We just, hang out and I leave. So now when I noticed the plan of this man to take me away from everyone I knew about, I didn't really know what to prepare, how to prepare myself and what the situation could look like. All I knew is that I started, planning on how I can still have access to the people that I know. But unfortunately, it wasn't that successful because I don't even have a phone. Yes, I don't have a phone. The only time I use a phone is when he's at home. We used to have a land phone, but he disconnected it. The goal of this man is to make sure that he isolates me with anybody that could know or hear what I'm dealing with and that could help me. So he disconnected the phone. His cell phone is what I usually use whenever he wants me to use it. But over time, when I started noticing that things are not going right, that was the very day he went to the grocery store with my daughter and came back, and I saw a fingerprint, five fingerprints on the cheek of my daughter, my older daughter. When I saw that, I was like, what happened? And immediately I knew probably she pissed him off in the grocery store and he slapped her. And that slap made a huge mark. They could tell you how mad he was and the type of person he is, that could slap his own daughter to leave a mark of his fingers, 5 of them on this girl's face. I was like, no, this is too much. I was like, can you imagine? I was saying this out loud. You slapped this girl. I don't even know if you slap me like that, if I can handle it. And he was like, oh, what are you gonna do? If I slap you like that, what are you gonna do? I'm like I said, I don't know if you slap me like that, if I can handle it. So he started saying it, coming as if he wants to try it. And I didn't want to stand to see it happen. I rushed to the bedroom and I started being very, very scared of him, because I have no clue what has gotten over this man. You slapped your daughter and now you want to slap me too, to prove what I would do if you do the same to me. So because of that, I was at the urge of like, what else could go wrong? What else could go wrong? And then the next thing is I see him started packing every day he's packing stuff, And I got into a disagreement with him the following day as we were going to shop. Mind you, I don't go anywhere without him. The only time I leave the house is either we're going to the grocery store or we are going to take the kids to see the doctor. It has to be an errand. Otherwise, I'm always at home. And this was for 5 years of my marriage with this man. So this particular day, we were going to buy a Tylenol for my daughter because she was running fever. And the argument in the car was, should we buy the Tylenol infants or the Tylenol toddler? He's saying buy this and I'm saying buy that because I'm the mother. I knew exactly what type of Tylenol that this child needs. But as I was saying it, he felt like I'm talking over him. And he knocked me on my lips like, you don't talk when I'm talking. And I was like, wow, you just realized what you did? So you raised your hand and you knocked me on my lips? I was like, you know what? The moment you raise your hand on a woman, what you raised is your ego, your pride. And if everything that made you a man was raised. And when it landed on my lips, you just dropped everything down. So right now, you mean nothing. Because you've dropped your ego. Whatever made you to be a man, you dropped it the moment you laid that hands on a woman. And that made him even more furious. And he started saying all manner of things, all threat, he said that he's going to do this, he's going to do that. He threatened a lot of things. But one thing he said that stood out, which I will never forget, is that he said he's going to make my life a living hell. He said that I will cry the rest of my life. I will be crying and washing my hands with my tears. That he will make sure of that. And so many other things he said. And I didn't want to stay and watch that happen. So I said, you know what? I'm definitely going to have to find a way to give this man time to, get over whatever the devil that came over him is, so that I can come back in a peaceful environment. So I said, I'm going to plan to give him time. And that was when I started making arrangements on where to go. And I will share that next plan of what I did in my next video. So stay tuned and see you there.